Alright guys, we are back with another video of storybooth. And this one says, I survived the war but we lost my sister. And this one.
I was woken up to the sound of screams and crying, and I was like, what's going on? This isn't right. So I decide to look out my window, and I see fire. I see a building on fire. I rush to my mom's room, and I grab her by the hand. I rush back to my room, and I show her the fire. She screamed, and she woke everyone up, and she was having a panic attack. Soon enough, we realised that our city has been attacked. About a few weeks later, we were running low on supplies because we'd been in the house the full time trying to avoid the war. And then my dad was like, okay, we're low in food. We can't live like this. We're going to die in here if we don't get any more. My dad and my sister go out and they go and get food. It was about 4 days since they'd went out to get some food. And my mum and I and my brothers started panicking. It was just like something has happened. They are not okay. I just lost all my hope. And I was like, well, there's nothing to do now. Let's just pray to God and see what happens. But then a miracle happened. My dad came back from the house, and without my sister, he was just crying and he was really injured. Without my sister, I've realised why God has taken her up, and I realised that she'll be by my side no matter what. Soon after that, we moved back to England, and now I'm 13 years old, and I live a happy life. Life is good. And just know, if you're going through war and anything, it will get better.
Oh my god, we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way ashore. Like and comment. Overcome challenge. Wait, let me just say wait. Alright guys, I'm back. And I just chose this one. Scary Luigi board. I wish I never played. It's just like
on Friday the 13th, my friends and I decided to plan a sleepover. So we decided to have it at my friend Marissa's house. So we were at her house and we had some dinner. It was really good. We actually had some masticholi. We were just sitting at the table talking, and one of my other friends, we'll call her Haley, she was like, oh my gosh, we should go play the Ouija board now, because they knew that I brought it. So I was like, okay, let's go in the basement, it'll be like fun. So we're playing, and I start getting really freaked out. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get possessed, like, oh my gosh. Because I was so scared that, like, because we talked to this really mean ghost, I thought we were, but it was really spelling something else out. Tears are like streaming down my face, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, so I kept saying, like, I could see it. It was like in the mirror. It was really scary. So then I was like, we need to talk to it again to see what it wants. We talked to this ghost named Dan, and his wife's name is Gina, and he kept saying 40 cuts in the bathtub, and then like 790. We looked it up. It means love and like comfort. So we were like, do you want us to love you? And he said he has a daughter. And eventually we got this story that he had a daughter and she was like kidnapped and then she like killed herself, I guess. She died, and it was really, really sad. So we felt bad, and I kept wanting us to dig him up. He said he was under the house. He was under the floor. So like I was getting really scared, and like he said the ghost girl's name was Erin, and she was 12, and she was turning 13 the next day. So we were like, do you want us to sing happy birthday? And he said yes, and we said at midnight. He said no, and I said what time? And he said 6. So I was like, oh gosh, we have to wake up at 6 in the morning. So then like everyone started getting creeped out, so we had to like stop because not everyone was comfortable with it. So we stopped playing, and I put it away, and I was terrified. I was like, I'm not comfortable with some of the things he said. I was just like really upset. So I called my sister and I was like, dude, this is what happened. And I told her the story and I was like, I am so scared. I was crying. Like, it was bad. I was crying really hard and I was like, I don't want to get possessed. So she's like, oh, it'll be okay. Just be glad that you said goodbye. I mean, you're still stupid. And I was like, okay. So I hung up on her because I was mad. And I just got so scared and my anxiety got really bad that I was like, I can't sleep over. So I texted my mom and my mom is like, okay, I'll come and get you. And my mom, she took me home and she's like, leave that board in the garage. It is not coming in the house. So I was like, okay. When I woke up at 7 and I did sing Happy Birthday to Aaron because I promised Dan that I'd sing at 6. So I sang Happy Birthday and I'm good. I just don't like being home alone like I am right now. But that's my story of my scary Ouija board.
I'd never want to play that.
Oh my god, we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way ashore because the dog chased us all over the day.
Alright, guys. My eyes are... living with... Pete, remember how I used to say diabetes? Hey, what are you doing? Oh, shoot! No.
Oh, Nathan, you would have won.
No, that was brown. Eat them all.
For real?
Yeah.
Go get one.
Me? Oh, wait, let me pause the video. Alright. Well, problem solved. So if you see me doing this a lot, it's because something's coming up with my eyes, like, it's just like, it's just,
What if people with type 1 diabetes had the power to manage their condition without finger sticks?
This happened a few years ago.
Wait. Alright, I'm back. I'm in my room where it's really dark. Dude! Alright guys, I'm back. I had to get a charger. I see charger like that. Like, charger. Dude.
When I was a child, I would eat junk.
Sorry about that.
I would eat chips, soda, candy, anything you could think of that involved sugar. My mom told me every day I shouldn't be doing this. I should eat some healthy stuff often, but I just ignored her and continued eating food. A few years passed, and that's when we went to the hospital because I couldn't really hear much from my ear. So we went to the hospital for them to check it out. So when we went there, the nurse wanted to check my blood sugar, so she did. When she poked my finger, it was kind of hurt, but I was fine with it. When she came back, she had a serious face on her. She looked at me and looked at my mom and said that I have diabetes. So my mom was scared. You could tell in her face that she was worried for me. I didn't know what diabetes was. All I knew is that one of my aunts had it. The doctor said that diabetes is when you cannot make something called insulin that kind of balances your blood sugar. I have to take medicine that was insulin. I have to put it in myself with a shot. I don't like shots, syringes, anything that involved a needle. I would just cry. I don't like needles at all. It was scary knowing that I had to get shot every single day, check my blood sugar every single day. Every single day, all I see is a needle in front of me. It's scary. Whenever I eat, I have to put a shot on. My people look at me whenever we're at restaurants, like, oh my god, look at that girl, she's putting a shot on. Whoa, what the heck? It's kind of nerve-wracking. My mom told me that I have to start eating healthy. I can't really eat that much junk food anymore, and that kind of, made me sad.
Eat those carrots. You gotta eat the carrots.
I was like, wow, I can't eat no more junk food, no more ice cream candy. What am I gonna do with my life? No! All I'm ever gonna see is greens. After a few years, I kind of got used to the shots, but I'm still not used to the blood tests. I'm kind of fine with diabetes now. It's still kind of scary that knowing diabetes, if I don't take care of myself, I might hurt myself. It could damage me. I might die. I try my best to just live on, act normally, just like everyone else, be with friends, do whatever normal people could do. I just want to say, take care of your body and just be careful and stay healthy, you guys.
You gotta eat those cakes.
Oh my god, we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way ashore because the dog chased us all over the head.
Come on, dude. Alright. It's still going? Okay. I was homeless.
After my diagnosis, I couldn't see a way forward. Then I asked my doctor about Tagrisso.
Let's go.
Me and my sisters didn't get along, and I could never understand why. They bullied me, tormented me for a long time as a kid. They would dress me up like a girl, telling me that I should have been a female so that I could fit in, because nobody wants a brother. They would tell me hateful things because I love to eat. They hurt, they teased, they ridiculed. It was terrifying. Despite my mother doing her best, she was never home long enough to enforce the rules, because she had to take care of us. She had to keep us alive and food in the house and a roof over our heads. As the teenage years came to roll around, the once verbal teasing and emotional trauma ended up turning into violence. Eventually, the violence got so bad that I felt I couldn't be safe in the house anymore. My mom felt the same way, and she sent me to live with my uncle because there was nowhere else I could go. For a little while, things were okay, and then out of the blue, my uncle got evicted, which took me out of a place to live. I found myself at Central Park, and ironically enough, this is when Pokemon Go was a big thing, so it was really easy to blend in the crowds because everyone was running around Central Park looking for Pokemon, and it didn't look weird for this chubby kid to be sitting down, on a cracked phone, just sitting to himself. I was hungry. I didn't have any money for food, and I found myself at McDonald's, and this group of teenage kids was asking if anyone wanted the food that they weren't going to eat because they didn't want to throw it away, and they ended up leaving it by the door. I waited a couple of minutes before I took it. And on the fourth night, I was assaulted by a group of people. They proceeded to beat on me until they figured it just wasn't fun anymore. But after it was over, I took my broken phone out of my pocket and I called my mom. We go about searching for places, and that place led me to an adolescent shelter called Covenant House. I find myself with friends, not camouflaging myself in my pain, but embracing it and finding connections. They're giving me this sense of hope, this faith that things can be better. I find myself connecting to my mother and knowing that she knows that I'm okay. I found my redemption in Covenant House, and I'm hoping that while I was here, that people have found redemption in me too.
Oh my god, we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way ashore because the dog chased us all over the head.
You guys for this video. Hope you subscribe if you are new, and if you like my content. Yeah, goodbye.